Hello, I am Pramod Kumar and today we will study English for class 12 Bihar board. Our book is Rainbow Part 2 and the poem is My Grandmother's House, written by Kamala Das. Right? Kamala Das was a noted poet of India. She wrote in English also, Malayalam also. Generally in Malayalam she wrote under the name of Madhvi Kutti, in the pen name of Madhvi Kutti. What is the theme of this poem? इस poem का theme क्या है? Quest for love means search for love. Failure to find emotional fulfillment. Emotional, भावनात्मक fulfillment पाने में असफलता through love. Failure to find emotional fulfillment through love. In this poem, the poet brings about her desire for love and her failure to get this love. She had a very mixed kind of a life. Initially, she was a very happy person, but she had another marriage. After that, she had a very different kind of experience. She kept on looking for love, but she found it very difficult to get it, right? In this poem, the poet is reminded of her ancestral house, her grandmother's house, where long back she used to go there as a child, and there she got lot of love and affection from her grandmother. She was very happy at that house. She is getting into nostalgia, means remembering the past and feeling sorry about having missed it. Nostalgia, remembering the past and feeling sorry about having missed it. And the past brings nostalgia and the current position brings anguish, pain, agony, discomfort, right? So we go directly to the poem. The poem goes like this. There is a house now far away from when. There is a house now far away where once I received love. She is recollecting the house of her grandmother, where long back she used to receive lot of love. That woman died. Her grandmother died. The house withdrew into silence. How did the house respond to the grandmother's death, house owner's death? The house withdrew into silence. It became silent, as if it is lifeless. Snakes moved among books. I was then too young to read. In the childhood, when she used to visit her grandmother's house, there were a lot of books. But the poet was so young, she was not in the age of reading those books. And now, among those books, snakes move around because the house is desolate, left nobody lives there. And my blood turned cold like the moon. And her blood turns cold like the moon after thinking of her grandmother's house, what it was and what it is now. How often I think of going there. Several times the poet thinks of going there to her grandmother's house to peer through blind windows, to peer through blind eyes of windows. Sorry. Blind eyes of windows. Right? The poet, several times he thought of going to her grandmother's house. For several years she had not gone. What did she want to go for? To go there and peer. Peer means to look attentively, to look with lot of attention, to peer through blind eyes of windows, or just listen to the frozen air. Why frozen air? Because grandmother is dead and the house has receded into silence. and the air has become frozen. Just listen to the, see, very often she thought of going there to peer through blind eyes of the windows, or to just listen to the frozen air, or in wild despair pick an armful of darkness to bring it here to lie behind my bedroom. She thought, I will go to my grandmother's place and bring some of the darkness. Now that that house is desolate, nobody lives there, it is always full of darkness, almost always full of darkness, nobody lives there. So, she is thinking of bringing some darkness from that house and putting it near her bedroom, where she is living presently. Right? Behind my bedroom's door, like a brooding dog, what she is doing? She is bringing a simile. Brooding dog. What is a brooding dog? You will find a dog sitting, thinking. Brooding means thinking to act but not acting. Brood, to think over something but not doing that thing. सोचने की प्रक्रिया, right? It doesn't result into action. So the poet finds herself like a brooding dog because several times she has thought of going to her grandmother's house, but she has not been able to go there. So she is comparing herself to a brooding dog. You can't believe, darling, can you, that I lived in such a house and was proud and loved? I who have lost my way and beg now at a stranger's doors to receive love, at least in a small change. She says, you can't believe, can you believe that I lived in such a house? What kind of house? A house where she used to receive lot of love and affection. So why is she doing this? She is bringing a comparison between past and present. So what does she show here? That past was extremely good, present is extremely painful. It's not good. So she is getting into nostalgia, and she is telling people, telling us, can you believe that I lived in such a house and was proud and loved? While living at my grandmother's house, I was very proud, I was very much loved. I who have lost my way. I who have lost my way means, what has happened? She has lost some of her commitments. I who have lost my way. She is not on the same way on which she was. She has lost her way. It means she has lost some of her commitment. And beg now at a stranger's doors to receive love. Currently, her life is totally devoid of love. So what she is doing? She is knocking at a stranger's doors to receive some love, even if it is in a small change, in a very, very small quantity. Her life is totally devoid of, earlier, her life was full of affection and love. Today, her life is totally devoid of love and affection. So, her own people are not able to provide her love that she needs, that she wishes for, that she desires. So what does she do? She is looking at strangers for getting some amount of love that she can get, even if it is too small. Right? at least in a small change, means in a very small quantity also, right? So this is the poem. We can repeat for 2 minutes. The theme of this poem is quest for love, search for love, the failure to find emotional fulfillment through love. She has failed. The poet has almost failed to receive love, emotional fulfillment through love. This poet brings about her desire for love and her failure to get this love. She is very much desirous of getting that love, desirous of, but she is not able to get that. She is reminded of her ancestral house, grandmother's house, where she used to go in the childhood and get lot of love and affection. बहुत ज़्यादा love, प्यार और affection मिलता था, right? From her grandmother. She wants to go there. Now that her grandmother is dead, that house is desolate, alone, and the house has withdrawn into silence. It is silent, dark, and the air in the house is frozen because the house has acknowledged the owner's death, and snakes are moving around among books. Those books which she used to find in her childhood, but she was not in the age bracket to read those books that time. And currently snakes are moving, right? She wants to peer through the blind windows of the house. She is calling windows are blind and she wants to peer through those windows. Means what she is doing? She is trying to find something which is not easily available, which is not easily to be found, right? She is sharing of grief of grandmother's death, and the house has withdrawn into silence. It has become silent, as if the house is dead. The house itself is dead. The air has become frozen. And she has brought the simile of brooding dog. She has been thinking for a long time to visit her grandmother's house, but she has failed. So she has brought the simile of a brooding dog. Like a brooding dog, she has been thinking. What does a brooding dog do? It keeps on brooding but doesn't get into action. It is limited only to thought, thinking, doesn't result into action. And imagery is of, there are some imagery also, blind eyes of the windows and frozen air. She has brought in the image of in this poem. And these things have been brought in image, blind eyes of the windows and frozen air, to convey the idea of death and desperation. Idea of death because grandmother is dead, desperation because she is desperate for love but not getting it. She is desperate to visit her grandmother's house but not in a position to do that, and she keeps on brooding like a brooding dog, right? I hope you found the poem easy to understand. In case of any difficulty, please do approach me on my email ID, which will be there at the thumbnail to the video. Thank you very much.